Now to today's top breaking news. A Wake County Superior Court judge is hearing arguments in the North Carolina Supreme Court race.
It is the only election in the country from 2024 that has not yet been certified. Incumbent Democratic Associate Justice Allison Riggs defeated Republican Judge Jefferson Griffin by a little more than 700 votes. However, Griffin has challenged the result and wants more than 60,000 votes disqualified. Griffin claims those voters were not eligible, which the State Board of Elections denies. Attorneys for Riggs say Griffin has no evidence and is only targeting voters who lean Democrat.
It's impossible to assess the integrity of an election when the agency that manages the election isn't forthcoming with information necessary to determine the accuracy of the election's results.
Judge Griffin concedes that he has no evidence that a single voter is ineligible under the rules that were in place at the time of the election. Judge Griffin now wants to change those rules and throw out the votes of more than 65 North Carolinians.
This case has been appealed multiple times, and a decision today is not likely. That brings us to what has been happening outside of the courtroom. Some 100-plus protesters filling the hallways.
CBS 17's Judith Ratana, they're live, bringing us up to speed. Judith.
Now, word of this hearing made its rounds on social media, causing dozens of people to make their way down here to the courthouse this morning. Now, the courtroom did hit capacity, and that prompted the fire marshal to step in and escort people eventually out of the building. Now, those who are here today include supporters of Judge Jefferson Griffin, who say that the judge is in the right to challenge those 60,000 votes, but there were also folks here whose votes were challenged and say their vote is being unjustly discounted. We heard from several people who say they traveled hours to be here today. While many were not allowed in the courtroom to observe the hearing firsthand, they say this is an important process to take part in.
Judges are not supposed to be partisan. So again, this is so vital because major decisions on elections, schools, all sorts of levels happen at our Supreme Court.
People were not paying attention to those down ballot races, but when we have races like this come up and people start to understand the power that the Supreme Court has or those other down the ballot races, then this is going to start turning a lot more heads and a lot more people are going to pay attention to this.
Now that court hearing is back in session now, after taking a short break, the State Board of Election is currently defending their decision to certify those 60,000 votes that are now being challenged. We'll make sure to keep you updated on what comes of this hearing as we go through the day. Live in Raleigh, Judith Ratana, CBS 17 News.
All right, Judith, thanks so much.